Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I have two baseball games today. One of them's already done. My poor 6-year-old is on a team who has not won one game, but this same 6-year-old is one of the kids that carries the team by himself. They really only have two good players on the team, and everybody else they're just error-making machines. But my 6-year-old is literally I bet his batting average is somewhere between 900 and 950. So this kid is like doing quite well. And with all the practicing that he has done, it doesn't surprise me. But we're now working on turning him into a switch hitter. He's a natural right-handed kid, and he throws right-handed. But from the time I started teaching him how to hit, I started him batting left-handed. He never did learn how to bat right-handed. Well, I decided I was going to turn him into a switch hitter. So now, after 2 years of practicing left-handed, we're starting to go to the other side of the plate and do right-handed as well. And I guess it's a natural thing for him, so he's taking to it pretty darn well, faster than I thought he would. Well, I want to start you out by showing you a really cool tweet from XRP Neo. At XRP_Anderson, definite follow. This guy's really smart. He put together a really good series of tweets here, and I want to read them to you. Thoughts, and this is about the IMF. We keep talking on this channel about how huge what the IMF is. Something big is cooking. The IMF, Christine Lagarde, who runs the IMF, she not only keeps on bringing up cryptocurrencies and digital assets and keeps on referring to them as disruptive and keeps on bringing up Ripple. I mean, and we keep seeing pictures of people from Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse in pictures with Christine Lagarde and the IMF. We know, and he covers some of this in this Twitter feed. I'm just going to read what he has to say because it's really good. Okay, this is one of 14 tweets he did. Thoughts of Bretton Woods 75. I found it very interesting. The IMF essentially gave us tons of information in how they think and what their plans are. Recently, there has been a lot of voices around the world about the U.S. dollar, also related to the power SWIFT holds. 2, Germany wanting a new system for sending money across borders. That's not SWIFT. Russia joining CIPS, China's SWIFT. Then voices from China about not wanting U.S. dollars as the one world reserve currency. Christine Lagarde and other speakers essentially focused 2 hours in talking about how bad the fact that the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency is. Very important. Pay attention. You had a representative from China, a representative from Europe. 4, they talked about how it would be beneficial if the euro and the renminbi gained more power in relation to the U.S. dollar. Important. For future plans of the IMF, they see IMF as holding a lot more power. Very interesting. He's got this graphic here. Number 5, we can imagine a new expanded role for the IMF by adopting and modernizing some old ideas of what's called the Keynes Plan and the Triffin's Plan. This is a quote from the conference, easily skipped. Just from Wikipedia, you get this searching for the Keynes Plan. The Keynes Plan, concerning an international clearing union, argued for a radical system for the management of currencies. He proposed the creation of a common world unit of currency, the Bancor, and new global institutions, a world central bank, and the International Clearing Union. Interesting, right? The Bancor has been described as a supranational currency. The Keynes Triffin Plan is a radical solution that would include all countries handing over their foreign exchange reserves to an organization. Wow. And then he says, it is clear that the IMF sees themselves as having a much larger role in the future. This became clearer when bilateral swap lines between central banks were given a large focus. What was actually discussed was how the IMF could become the central counterparty. That instead of banks sending funds between each other bilaterally, the IMF could be in the middle instead, receiving and sending funds between central banks to reduce risk. Very interesting. The XRP ledger, as we know, do just this in relation to exchanging currencies. And you can see this graphic of XRP there in the middle. The IMF could show up as an intermediary between the Federal Reserve, since we're talking about dollars, and other central banks. Ricardo Reis. Now, remember how an employee of Ripple said in a conference that Ripple is working with 40 to 50 central banks. Could this be related to the IMF? We know that IMF has followed Ripple in many conferences, as well as been present at Swell. Also, I wonder about Ripple holding meetings for central banks. This kind of strange for a startup, don't you think? We also know that Chris Larsen is on the IMF FinTech Advisory Board. The UN Better Than Cash Alliance runs the GOAN. Isn't it strange Christine Lagarde continues to mention Ripple as a disruptor? She keeps saying banks need to adopt this tech or they will face their demise. Strong words, pay close attention. She also began Bretton Woods 75 by talking about how they could include poorer parts of the world, financial inclusion. I believe the IMF has big plans for the future, and Ripple being a part of it, and XRP. Wow, what a thread. Great job, XRP Neo. Great job. Okay, next from Brian Melancholy XRP at Mike Honcho _11. He sent me this from Warren Davidson, a tweet. Blockchain, let's pause for a moment to reflect on how remarkable and powerful it is to have broad bipartisan support for non-security token sales. And he's talking about the Token Taxonomy Act. And he's tweeting out this article from Forbes. It's an article from Forbes about the Token Taxonomy Act. Don't call it a comeback. With 2 bills, U.S. lawmakers aim to give new life to non-security tokens. I wanted to read you this one part of it. Congressman Warren Davidson's public comments when introducing the bills appeared to express disappointment with existing guidance. And then this is a quote from him. The lack of regulatory certainty in the U.S. combined with confusing spasmodic guidance from the SEC and an inconsistent patchwork of court decisions has capital and innovation fleeing the U.S. market for the welcoming certainty of other jurisdictions. That is huge, folks. This guy's on it. Okay, Ripple tweeted this out yesterday, and I just wanted you to go and watch it. It's on Ripple's Twitter feed. Paul Ariyavat, I'm sure I butchered that, Chief Strategy Officer from this bank that he's with is SCB Thailand, Siam Commercial Bank, shares how his bank is using blockchain to deliver inexpensive real-time remittances for low-income users. And then got this from XRP Diamonds to the Sky. That's at Matt Marley 52200. He sends me this. Now, one thing that Brad Garlinghouse has said over and over and over is if a digital asset does not ultimately have a use case, if there's no utility, it will eventually go to zero. Okay? The only digital assets that I talk to you about on my channel are the ones that I believe have actual utility and a team around them that's working towards making utility happen in one way or another. And so this is about Vechain. There is a hardware device that has been created and is about to be for sale. It's called the Playtable. Playtable, the next evolution in gaming, will be entirely powered by the Vechain Thor blockchain. Okay, let that sink in, is what it says. This is Playtable's website, and I want you to let me see if I can get the video. Yeah, I want you to watch this for a second. It's called a Playtable, and it's an interactive table where physical pieces are placed on the table and interact with the table. So you could actually play poker on this table. Okay, this thing is going to work with the Vechain blockchain, folks. So even though I've said time and time again, XRP is the one. XRP is where I have most of my investment in digital assets, but that does not mean that I don't own other digital assets that I think will have their own niche and their own types of utility. Vechain is one of them. Just go to this website. They have a YouTube video as well. You can watch the YouTube video. This is the Vechain Reddit, and this is a YouTube video that's put up where you can watch all about how this thing works, and it's really amazing. I want to get my kids one already just from watching this. Looks like you can they'll have various games on this thing, and then you can put pieces down on the table, and it interacts with it as well. It's called the Playtable. Go to playtable.com, and I think you can pre-order these things. But this is a Vechain tweet where this is from Vechain Foundation. The 8 Hours Foundation and their premier partner Playtable are set to bring mass adoption straight to you. Not only is it incredibly fun to play on a Playtable, but it is also simply genius technology combining IoT and the Vechain Thor blockchain. Wowzers, folks. All right, I wanted to show you this. I believe we're heading slowly but surely into a bear market. I want you to see this video of a Lambo, and it looks like they've created these Lambos so that you can change the color out. I'm assuming that this is a real video of a real Lamborghini. So I'm not going to be a Lamborghini man, but many of you out there are going to want to once this thing finally moons. And so you should know that you can get a multicolored Lambo. And finally, I want to show you one other cool thing that I just saw that I wanted to pass along. In Iceland, food delivery is now operated by drones. This is an optional thing they're doing over there, but they're actually delivering food by drones. I'll play this video. Look at the food dropping out of the bottom of this drone, cutting delivery times and saving people money. The world's changing, folks, and it's just a matter of time before their menu lets you pay in XRP as well. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for informational purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that if they go to Iceland, they can order their food via a drone. Thank you for listening.